I'm going to attempt to make a couple of brass caps to go onto the end of the dial indicator. Well, I got the two little caps for the ends of the dial indicator finished. I'm going to put a little drop of epoxy on them just to hold them on there. So we'll mix up a little bit of epoxy. Let them dry for about 10-15 minutes. Then we'll be ready to start putting things together. Well, here we are with everything ready to go together. Got everything laid out on the table here. all the bolts and nuts and parts and pieces. Got the drawing there to go by. 3 different Allen wrenches. Get a close-up shot of all the parts. So let's get started. I'm going to have to cut the brass rods off a little shorter that hold the dial indicators. I left it long because I didn't know what length I would need till I got it all together, so I'll be cutting those off shortly after we get it all together, get the guitar down here and get it laid on there and see what kind of a length I need to cut it at. Also the neck support rods will have to be cut off shorter also, but again I left them long to make sure I had enough length, and then cut them off once I see what we need. I'll lay an acoustic guitar on there and a electric guitar on there to see what works best for both. Turned it the wrong way. Well, we've got everything together. All thing we have left to do is cut off the neck support rods to the correct length and the brass rods that hold the dial indicators to the correct length. But there it is. I think it turned out pretty good. go to get a guitar and bring down here and kind of lay on there and see what length we need to make those rods, and then get them cut off. The only thing I don't have is a little strap for the turnbuckle thing here to pull the neck down. I've got two straps for the body of the guitar. So let's get a guitar and set on there and see what it looks like. Well, I've got my Yamaha acoustic sitting on the neck jig, and checked the rods. And I cut that one rod, neck support rod, off to about 7 inches from 9 inches. Seems like it'll be about the right length. And I went ahead and cut the brass rods off about 2 3/4 inches shorter than what they were, just so they don't hit the table. I had it overhanging so it wouldn't hit the table, but now they won't hit the table when it's down. At least I hope. We had made a couple of 2x4 blocks just to set under the last cross member, just to stabilize it so it wouldn't tip over. Went and got a little band here, a spring-loaded thing to hold it. Had to cut it off real short because it was about 20 feet of band on there that I didn't need. So I got to cut the other two rods off, and I think it's going to be okay. I'm going to go get my Epiphone Les Paul and set on there now just to see what it's going to do, and then we'll check it from there. Well, here's my Les Paul sitting on the neck jig. I think the height of the rods is going to work out okay. Of course, with the thinner guitar, I had to raise the levelers up higher to have enough room to have adjustment on all this over here. The gauges and the neck supports and the turnbuckle and the screw jack at the end. So all in all, I think it's going to be okay. I've got a couple of straps over there laying on the table that we use to strap the body down with. I'm not going to fool with that right now. Got to cut these other two rods off and I guess we'll be done. So I'll do that and then show it to you once everything's complete. Well, here's the neck jig all complete. Got the neck support rods cut off, and got my Les Paul sitting back on there. That's going to be the first guitar used on this jig. I'm going to do a refret. I know the camera won't pick it up, but I've got some frets that are really dented from the strings and flat from bending and stuff. And I'm not even a professional player, I just sit on the couch and play, but anyway, it needs some new frets. I would do a fret level and crown polish, but my frets would be too low then. So we'll possibly do a video on that whenever I get to it. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them. Be happy to answer any questions. And thanks for watching. Here's a couple of last minute improvements to the neck jig. First one being the scale that I laid out on the cross members. I did that on the my mini CNC mill. Wrote a little program to make the marks and used the right program to do the numbering. Turned out pretty nice. That will help center the guitar better. You can measure how wide the guitar is, and then split the difference on each side and make it easier to know when you're centered. So that'll be a good improvement. Second thing was on the levelers. I got some ultra fine Sharpies of different colors, and every half-inch increment on the levelers put a different color mark. Got 5 marks every half-inch of different colors, so that when you're setting it up, you can get them about the same height as needed, or as close as needed. So that'll help out too in setup.